Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me. Polina here, chatting to you a little bit about this particular transit of July 2023. We're now at the end of June and we're well in Cancer. And what I can help you with is getting lost in yourself and not in other people's vibrations. So we're in a very kind of intense, communal, cuddly, cozy, vibrational depletion in the shadow sign. People can lose their mind. Rabuchi is really famous for people kind of getting really crazy about the little details. Also, it is about a lot of people being all up in the air or all kind of bunched together. And also, it's about dependencies and it's about criticism. And it can also be about conditionality and a type of relationship success that people receive while they do what another person wants them to do. This is not a bad idea. But I am trying to break you guys out of certain things. And why I'm here quite sensitive and emotional about it is because when you have come to a certain place in your life where you understand that you have a certain type of dependency on what you kind of would kind of have to be doing next to somebody, or if you wanted a certain type of lifestyle, that makes a very, very harsh realization. It makes a really harsh reality, knowing that there is a condition. There is a condition on that which you've got to be a part of and how you present what you say and what you do. So basically, I'm here like now in another way, Wyatt. I have been rewriting my family history and recreating my relationship with me, with my life, by knowing that there is a certain type of element in many people that is hereditary. Karma is a hereditary link. A lot of us don't really know, but we are just still repeating the patterns that our ancestors have set up for us, and not all of them are very good. And we all kind of have to sort of constantly criticize ourselves or one another to get things right. So where the beauty and the bonuses of this time is if you get yourself organized and if you get yourself really sleek and super fine and super fresh, it can actually be a very tremendous surprise and a triumph. So in some people's lives, it is about upgrades and it is about never looking back and only looking forward. So in a way, the skin cells can revive, the organs can change. It's a very, very beautiful shifting energy. And as Jupiter is approaching Uranus, it is about revival and renewal and restoration and taking out that which wasn't sure or which was kind of sort of putting on an act. And I did say to you quite a lot about lying and about thieves and also people like stealing each other's time and energy. This is going to really decrease for some people. So feeling lonely and isolated because you have done the work and you now cannot generate the dream where people are drinking your blood, basically, where people are drinking your frequency, or where you are plugged in to a superficial experience or a superficial relationship. So quite a lot of us, we cannot go back. So it's like, for example, you think, oh wow, my best friend has left me, or wow, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm in a new territory, or there's something else happening and I'm so new and fresh at this. Keep that freshness, keep that realness, keep that reality, realizations, but trying not to give up. So a lot of people that I've been seeing lately in the last month have been feeling or fearing that they've given up on something good and they can't generate that again. And they're sort of trying to amp up that task or the game or the way that they've been functioning in the previous level. And they won't. They just won't. So like things have been broken and broken for a reason. A lot of this is not able to be fixed. And some people just have to basically face the day. Look at the sun, look at the freshness, look at the phenomenal beauty that is all around, look at the way that life has formed itself and created everything for you. So this is like stepping into Eden and no longer having those long-winded conversations. having those lazy, horrible, sad, sulky days, being around people that are predatory or that are no longer affordable, being around energies that are no longer clean or clear, looking at people that don't inspire you, wearing clothes that don't feel good on you, doing things around the house that you don't have to do, being in a certain clique that has nothing to do with what you're actually feeling, what your spirit actually desires and requires. So my spirit has desired and required for like a long time to basically cut things short and be just more free. I'm not sure as to like how you guys feel about it. And I'm starting an Etsy store. I have some concepts there. I will be posting that in the links below. If you like, you can check it out. So like basically it's like about shortcutting things. It's about shortcuts, and not all of it is wrong, but then some things probably don't need to be there. So that's kind of like the healing crisis that the world is going through. It is about condensing and reviving. It is about the future vision now. A lot of us who have been born with a vision or have been born to design, or how can I say, interpret the next level, like so visionary artists, visionary creators or creatives, they're going to get a real boost. Also, for example, if you have not been open to creativity, if you're not open or aware of yourself as a creator, you might start to look up and look down. So here we have stuffy rooms, here we have not leaving the house, here we have stuffy people and sad behavior and depression. We also have rage. So the theatrical part, like the deep shadow, when people have a big emotional crisis or they try to tell somebody their life story, that's not who we are anymore. So like the whole body of us, like as a collective, we are making spaces for new things. Most of people that are waking up and freshening up and that are really in the now, they don't want to get into that dark night of the soul. Like, I want to talk about my mother, you know, like we don't actually need this. So like there is another side of Cancer that probably people don't really like, or they don't understand. It's very good at refreshing things, as good at cleaning, as good at looking at things from a new perspective. It's actually very innovative as a sign. It's just that we sometimes don't like that about ourselves or other people. Like, for example, someone's talking and you're like, yeah, I know what you're going to say. I'm just going to go. Like, I got to do stuff today, okay? And if you're one of those people, like say, and you're watching my YouTube, you're like, okay, it's been 3 minutes. Like, I got to go. That's absolutely cool. That's actually fine. And that's not a bad territory to be. It's actually a very clear thinker and a very, very strong person that can be like, excuse me, I've only got like 3 minutes to do this. I'm not buying this. I'm not doing this, you know. That's a very, very clean person. It's just that sometimes in the rabbit year, and this is what my prognoses are about for Patreon for this month. This theme keeps on recurring. For this particular year, for the rabbit year, and July, rabbit year, Cancer time, is going to be very hard because, for example, you cut someone short, they're going to cut you short. And then it's just like things keep on slicing until you get to this really perfect minimalism. And it feels to me also like really regretful that people don't understand it, but this is actually when it's all right to do it this way. You know, so it's actually not a bad feeling to go, okay, look, cut the crap, don't need this, never had to have this, I don't like this, I don't want this, and I don't want to have anything to do with this, I just want that. So some of it is getting very, very streamlined and very architectural and very precise. And certain people also like that have a designer's energy or designer's aesthetic or ethic, they really heal us during this time, as they just want to like, okay, look, this is how, like that. But there are not a lot of people that can tolerate that. So it's actually a very surprising energy for a lot of people that are real healers and real optimists and real true livers, like people that are living, that are like, ha ha ha, I'm having such a good time. Because sometimes they will be in a way discerned against, for example, oh no, don't go here, this is too loud, this is too crazy, or like, Don't talk to this person, don't go there. Let's hug, let's cuddle. So like many people probably that enjoy astrology, that enjoy my channel, would need or would prefer to huddle up. I'm expecting that quite a lot of people would suggest even that cutting things short would be mean, or being too precise or too abrupt or too real about things would be too cathartic. But then I'm also seeing that there are spirits or there are energies working with this progress that we're going through that are trying to make sure that we do what we need to do without just kind of sort of like, whoa, wake up world, without kind of being that. And yeah, without being too messy. Sometimes people say being a mess. Like, I don't want to be accidentally offensive to anybody at all listening to me by chance. I would really like to just basically involve you in a certain progress that I have actually come to enjoy during this time. So basically, because of this, like, I'm flowering today. So I'm going to share a little bit with you. Um, okay, so the way that I'm structuring my time and the way that I've structured also my channel is to get people moving and get people seeing things and feeling and going up and away from these derogatory, sad, sulky, or depressing energies and walking into just a bigger, stronger, and more contained, maybe, vision of life. So I'm helping others to get to where I'm going. But then there's also, I understand, a lot of other meanings and a lot of other people. So being a redesigner of my whole world isn't necessarily what you want to do. So I'm also like recognizing that there are quite a lot of people that are like, look, Cancer is, for example, about love. Cancer is about loyalty. Like, I honestly don't want to move from this bed right now. I want biscuits and I want cheese and crackers in bed. I want to watch a movie. I want to wake up to a sunny new day. I don't care about like sitting in front of the computer, like making concepts like, Polina, you look like you don't sleep enough. Like that kind of thing. And I get you also. Like, I really do understand that, like, slightly also romantic energy. So this is like when I suppose the watery interpretation of Cancer, if we look at it, it's a very tricky sign to interpret. So I've actually found that quite a lot of Cancerian energies have a certain type of hidden meaning or hidden agenda. There are things under the veil or under the cover. And it's not all bad or mean or anything. It just sometimes can be bossy and it can be a little bit unevolved, but it wants to be something or somebody. So, in a sense, like a lot of issues that we might have in the home is not because of people not caring for one another, is because they're not very progressive in the way that they communicate, they structure their time. If you knew how precious life was and how wise your minute could be spent, you wouldn't spend so much time waiting. You wouldn't look for someone to hold you and wait for someone else to understand you. You would just cut short. You would just be like, look, okay, cool, I got 5 minutes, or like, I've got like, say, 5 days, and I want to solve this problem in 5 days. Okay, this is it's not necessarily a to-do list. It's kind of like, these are the things I need right now. I need to organize all of this. I really love it when people can have that bounce and that freshness and that up and go feeling, even though, yeah, a lot of Cancer is about dreaminess and it is about also cleaning things. And sometimes to clean things, you got to pull them apart. So it's like, you want to clean the kitchen cupboard, you got to take everything out of there first. So this is how I'm feeling also for a lot of people. So they're wanting to express themselves in a very sentimental or emotional way, or they need to get to that part of them that's not speaking to them. And for some people, it can take years to solve a very minor problem. And then for a lot of us, it doesn't really take too long. So like, we have like not necessarily a generational divide, but like a vibrational divide happening in the stars. And then I'm also seeing and I'm understanding that a lot of it is like a SCOBY, like a kombucha SCOBY, kind of shedding layers and becoming refreshed and growing new cells. and it's like skin regenerating, and cancer rules the skin, and people in a way leave things behind to go to the next plane, or they stick around in those previous things. But because of the times, I actually have a feeling that we really have to nurture those fresh young shoots. Then we come back to the notion of the family. Those, I will do that later, but right now it's like the fresh young shoots. That means, what is the most succulent? What is the most alive? What is the most vibrant? What is the most fresh? What is the youngest? Or what is the funnest? What is the freshest? What is the caringest? It's like, what is the zestiest? What is the livingest? What is the most vital that you have going on in your life? What makes you feel really like happy or like really excited? And not because somebody else would look at you this way, or like your elders would speak to you in a better way if you showed up early and did the dishes. Like, it's not about protocols in the family. It's not actually about the family. In my case, it's just about nurturing. So in terms of families, communities, I've noticed a lot of people came to me for the first about like 4, like more, 7, like honestly, oh wow, that's crazy. Almost, yeah, 7 years of my working as a psychic. I've noticed a lot of people came to me, and they all were treading those paths in the past, and they all wanted to understand what was going on with it, what was going wrong, and the body wasn't sensitive enough to itself because the moment wasn't a vital moment. They were just reliving these old, porridgey, sad, depressing energies in the house or in their family system, and they didn't want to do anything else but do that. So that's a really heavy burden. That's a really heavy thing to carry. This is like the 10 of Wands. So I suppose, like, what I can say is that we have a choice, and certain people, yeah, we have a mission to improve and upgrade. And as I've said earlier, it is a rabbit year. It's about freshness, about design, it is about upcoming, it's about also mainstream in some ways, and it's also about youth and youth culture. And it is definitely about fun, and it's about family, of course, yes, and it's about cultivating certain ideas together and helping each other, but it's not a heavy load. It's not like, every time he talks, or like, she's late again. That person, oh my God. So it doesn't need to be like this. It's kind of like kneading dough. It's like kneading dough that is nice and good and bouncy. I'm not sure if you've done baking or if you've worked with ceramics. When it's a good consistency and you can just do it and you feel like you are getting energy from the process of this massage, of this kneading of the dough. And then there's another way, it's like, everything's so dry and everything's so sad and clunky and frustrating. So we have to understand which ways we want to go. So I think that also many people don't like this. They don't also like me for it. Sometimes, in a way, it's not that I see life as a Sims game. It's just like I can see the repetitive cycles and it becomes maths. And when it's just a repetitive cycle, it's like a texture. It's like you get it. And then you kind of also can see that you can also program it. I guess I get it. Like, once you see a pattern, you get a choice of creator, and you can shift the pattern to the way that you'd like. Check out my Etsy store. It's kind of just about patterns, really. If you like, I just made it yesterday. So like, I suppose like the whole idea of growing into a large, long, timely, powerful story, it's just going to be very hard. I think that also a lot of people are drunk on powerful, big, clunky, and epic ideas. And then the dream is gone. It's like the inspiration is so fetching and it's so kind of quiet and it's sneaky. It's like inspiration is like a little tickle. It's like fairies laughing. And people are trying to still get together at the family table and have that meal they don't want to eat and talk about the world events, and they don't actually care about each other. So like, this is basically like a question of family and family members and how communities and larger conglomerates of people are structured. So this is about skin, this is about cells coming together, this is about the surface, also the surface layer or the surface area of human lives. And also surface endeavors. This is also about critical thinking. It's also about like computerized thought and pattern. Even though, oh no, it's about emotions, it's about devotion. It is also about just patterns, because skin is pattern. And I do definitely understand that the watery element is sensitive, and it seems like very mysterious and very unique and out of this world, but it is very, very divine in a sense, because it's also very obvious. So after you kind of recognize, you understand life, you understand yourself, you don't need to go into these sort of robotic and clicky, clunky things and like gluggy realities and gluggy vibrations that just make you cry a little more than other times of your life, because this is like the dark night of the soul for quite a lot of people. And yeah, you can make fun of me, it's okay. I understand this is not popular views or opinions, but also what I've actually come to see, and this is actually quite a big part of what I'm carrying here. When people have children, like, usually they don't understand that this is a very, very programmable, of course, and fresh person, but they're also, it's not just about bursting with potential, because it sounds like it's something you can use. It's not about this. Kids have a very incredible aura, and they're true healers, and they're true dreamers. And it's like the people that don't know that, like, gobsmack me every time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, in mainstream families, children are shushed and they are like put behind the adults. The adults are here, and the children are just there. And there is like a weird way that people kind of train pets and children in a very similar manner in some countries and some families. And then I'm kind of like thinking about this. This is really hard. So we don't respect the young energy, and then people do the anti-aging treatments and they try to, like, be cool and funny, even though they can't generate that energy or that frequency naturally. And it's not a judgment. It's not at all about this. It's not even about having a sense of humor. It's just people pushing that feeling of consciousness, which is what youthfulness is. And they take it away from them and they just slam it. They spank it, they push it down, and then they give that big, strong, kind of structured and seemingly very important narrative, or that very important older person, all the glory or all the sincerity. Is like, oh yes, the elder, or like, oh, the monk, the monarch, and then they forget about the children, and they don't treat younger family members with a lot of respect. And also, women in a way don't get treated very well. And I feel that, I suspect it's about the voice, because men, maybe it's like about the skin, like, say, we don't grow facial hair, so we don't look mature, so we like children. Maybe there is some of that in some kind of like ancient psychology as to how come women never really had a place at the table. And I think it's actually, it's about age worship, it's about patriarchal rule, and it's about a mind of what is above and what is below. Now this is the standard, or like, now this is where I want to be, so all of this like very reptilian mental state of standards, and wanting to exceed above one's previous level also, and wishing to be part of a party of people, party of like more prestigious or more well-connected or glamorous people, with it being kind of unnatural in the moment, or needing to be respected and accepted and represented and known, and wishing to be seen and wishing to be loved and wishing to get, now that's something that we basically, like, I can't help you there. We have to basically release the grip or the clutch on these different emotions. So in terms of Cancer and retention, this is mine, like that, that's a Cancerian thing as well. This is for me and this is for you, no, this is all I want, so like that's also something. And the glamour of it is incredible. And I feel that sometimes people and a very, very mean person see a parent or a mother or some kind of matriarchal or patriarchal figure. So we have no freaking time for this stuff. Even like talking about this, like drills my mind. So what can I tell you about this? Let the kids go and do what they want to do. Be yourself, you know. Okay, nothing needs to be sorted out and organized. Everything is already here, and it's kind of like hee kind of simple and fine. Work out the pattern, work out the problem, design your life better. You don't have to organize your house constantly. You don't have to clean constantly, cook constantly, be somebody else constantly. Like try to like patch up all the little gaps constantly. Like put cream on the face constantly. She puts the lotion on the cream on the skin. Sorry, I don't remember. It's a creepy movie. So like we all have like our own debts and stuff, and I feel that we all have our own culture and culture marks also. Unfortunately, we don't think about this. This is something that I bring up in a lot of my sessions and also videos and audios with like culture marks. You know, we've come to this place as a procession of lives, you know, and we don't deserve to be just kind of shaved down to this kind of mediocre species that just enjoys all that other stuff that anything else would enjoy. So it's just apps and clicks now and likes and dislikes and statistics, and it's not really that much more than that for some people already. So that's something that I feel is also part of the rabbit race, the rabbit here, getting evolved or involved through these giant community waves, you know. So for example, listening to a lot of music online, or buying a lot of crap, or like doing things around certain people, or being on certain platforms, or watching a lot of Netflix, doing something with people that make a living or make a way that has to do with public appeal, or what is the most popular popularity contest, all of this is a big trigger for me. So basically, I'm not saying this is not a good thing. I'm just saying that's not how life works. It isn't a big thing, you know. It's not really about getting like, say, 1 million subscribers. It's not about making things big. It's not about doing things on a bigger scale than you can afford. It's just basically being kind of simple and good at it. Like, say, if you can be really good on this level, you don't have to stretch it out any further. Great, okay, metaphor is like gymnasium, you know, gymnasium, like people lifting weights, and they're fine with these weights, and then they put really heavy, bulky weights, and then they like try to lift and they can't lift, but they try. That makes a very, very bad sequence in the body. They can actually break your body, you know. They can also, like, I suppose, break you free. There are some people that really need resistance workouts, but that's a very rare person. It's just that people trying so hard and they're pushing themselves so far where they could never have ever been, and they don't have to do it. So also, like, in terms of talents, and people finally like discovering, for example, wow, wait a minute, wake up. I've actually got no talent over here. My whole body is wanting to go in a different direction. Like, say, I thought I wanted to go here, I want to go there. Like, I have no talent in, for example, creative arts, but I'm a really good cook. Great. Or like, wow, I've been trying so hard to make my website to work, and I thought that's what it was that I needed to do to get clients or to get noticed online. Then it looks like I'm actually quite a lot better with just people in my community, or just like building relationships where I am. Like, what for am I like trying to do it the hard way? Why can't I like see the easy road? So it's not just about easy road, but it is about optimum. So like recreation of the best, the better, doing good, making more money, making more time, utilizing your time more specifically, more directly. And that means you have to declutter. So to become more efficient, you have to break free of all of this stuff. It's not about like, oh, I got to sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice. It's just basically understanding what's the husk, what's the grain. It's like, if you can imagine, it's like a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon. It just needs to leave the cocoon behind. It can't carry it around on its back. It's not a snail, you know, it's not one of those weird little bugs. It's not a dung beetle, it's a freaking butterfly, you know. So like, that's the thing that I suppose happened in my life lots of times also, is I knew it wasn't real, but it just took that moment to recognize what it was that was actually real. So some people have to experience incredible shadow, and sometimes people have to experience like a certain psyche break or like a psychosis in terms of their lifetime to understand, whoa, 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 all of this, I don't want this. That is not me, that's not me, that's me. So I think that some people are going to have to do a lot of work on themselves in order to reach that point. And for a lot of us, it's just done. It's like a person comes up to you and says, hey, I know what you need to do. Or like, for example, you get signed, or some people might be able to connect with you, or maybe even call you into a certain type of scene or community. So it's like, hey, we know what you want to do. So like sometimes it's like about a direction from a friend, or sometimes just about a certain community, not necessarily like sucking you in, but it's kind of like getting you ready for something else. And people will unconsciously come and help you and get you ready. So like that's like a best thing. I think that's the best way of looking at this July. It's like everything is a conformative. Everything conforms to at least something. Anybody and everything is kind of conforming now, and it's kind of like walking into this sort of grid and making new sort of more ergonomic and better looking patterns. And it's looking like a lot of people are wanting that, but not every aspect is yours. So it's kind of like, wow, this door is open, doesn't mean it's yours. So that's the thing. It's like, for example, this is the door to criticism. This is the door to, oh, wait, wake up. That's a very simple door. That's a very good door. This is a good door. You know, like, for example, I just got paid for nothing. Or like, this person invited me and I had a great time. Or like, we're making a great community with these 4 or 5 people we just met, you know. So there is a very caring and kind and generous reality. And that's it. Like, if you can imagine Cancer time, especially, also building up to Leo, is this a generous reality? You know, so it's kind of like a mother and son. You know, if you can imagine, my life is my mother, or like Earth, or you know, whatever experiences I can have on Earth, like guidance from my mother. Um, is she a funny woman? You know, is she a good cook? You know, I don't know. Is she dangerous? Is she a little mean? Is she wanting something? You know, like, so basically just say, okay, I want fun, fresh, youthful, flamboyant, maybe hysterical, maybe safe, or maybe peaceful. Maybe it is about getting things done. Maybe it's about forcing things done. No, I don't know. Using the energy, the interdimensional energies that are coming through this time to spark up your interest in creativity and creation. Some people can generate a lot of Kundalini power during this time to do exactly what they want. And then some people use that Kundalini power to have an argument with somebody and act out a little game and to repeat the patterns of their parents or of their society. So like the worst thing that could happen now is people basically indulging in God knows what. Yeah. While you could actually be making yourself a future. So that's basically the main bulk of it today. Have a look at my website, have a look at my Patreon, which has a lot of audios for every single sign for the month, every month. And also I have write-ups about every week ahead, and also aspects of the month, including all the conjunctions and the sextiles and all those freaky asteroid things. So thank you so much, very much, very much, very much. And I'll see you next time. Bye.